If I had wings, would you steal them? He glanced up. Her face was turned from him. She didn't stop but continued to walk along the fountain's rim. Spray dewed the top of her head, catching in her hair like stars. He knew she meant her question as a jest, yet he gave it serious thought. They had completed one turn of the fountain before he answered. If you had wings, he said with all the sincerity he possessed, I'd want to see you fly. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So as you could see from the intro, today's video is going to be a reading vlog on The Floating World by Axie Oh. This is one of my most anticipated YA fantasy books of this year. And I love this author's other YA fantasy book, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. And so I'm super excited for this one. In between yesterday and this morning, I read the first 100 pages in this, and so far it has not disappointed. I'm really enjoying it so far. And so this author said that she got inspiration for this book from Studio Ghibli, and specifically Castle in the Sky, and also from Final Fantasy. And you can really feel that inspiration from the very first chapters of this book. So chapter 1 introduces us to our main female character, Ren, and she is traveling with her adopted family, who is a troupe of acrobats, through the countryside putting on performances for villages. And even though they're her adopted family, it's clear from like the very first chapter that they love her unconditionally and she feels the same way about them. And so you really get like that cozy and warm-hearted feeling and vibes that I really associate with Studio Ghibli films. And also while I was reading this first chapter, I could just perfectly picture it in my mind in the style of Studio Ghibli animation. And it also has specific parallels to Castle in the Sky right from the beginning as well, because we learn that Ren actually escaped from a kingdom in the sky 10 years ago, and then that's how she came to live with her adopted family. And it's also revealed that Ren has special powers, and one of those powers is that she can control the wind. And then in chapter 2 we are introduced to our main male character Sunho, and we also get a completely contrasting setting in chapter 2 as well. So we go from a picturesque countryside setting in chapter 1 to a gritty cityscape with factories and a smokestack filled sky in chapter 2. So chapter 2 takes place in this place called the Underworld, and this location is the underside of the floating city. And it's because of the factories that the city is able to stay afloat in the sky. And so in this chapter, Sunho is in mid-city and he is performing a heist with some thieves to steal something from one of the factories. And we learn that Sunho is a swordman who is missing memories. He doesn't remember anything about his life from a little before 2 years ago, and all he remembers is his name, that he was a soldier, and that he has an older brother. And then in later chapters we learn that he has a demon living inside of him that is woven with his soul. And this demon grants him incredible strength and endurance, speed, accelerated healing, and the ability to see in the dark. And within these first 100 pages, you see him kind of like struggling with this demon and with keeping it under control, because it is controlled by his emotions. So he has to stay calm in order to keep the demon under control. So the first 2 chapters and these first 100 pages in general just really pulled me in with intriguing world building and equally as intriguing main characters. And then also add to that the plot so far has also been equally as engaging. So you have the plot of Ren's family being attacked by a demon that results in her uncle being wounded with a poison wound, and they're told that he only has 3 weeks to live before he succumbs to the poison, and so Ren heads off to try to find him a cure. And then you have Sunho, who is giving a quest to hunt down Ren, and he is given this quest from a captain in the army But at first he's hesitant to accept the quest, but he accepts it because the captain says that he knew Suno's brother, and if Suno helps him bring him this girl alive, then he will help Suno find his brother. And I'm at the point in the book where Ren and Sunho are just meeting. And then also, like, add to all this, there's the mystery of these demons. So you have the human-like demon that attacked Ren's family, but you also have the demon that attacked Sunho in the beginning chapters of the book as well. And the connection between the two of those demons are that they both have blue blood. And so I'm very intrigued by that mystery of, like, what are these demons? Where did they come from? Who is pulling the strings behind them? And I have some theories on that already, so I'm interested to learn more about that. So yeah, I feel like just everything about this book so far has just like pulled me in, and I can't wait to read more. So on that note, I will be back once I have read more of this and I have more thoughts. Hi, so it's the next day and I am here with a reading update on The Floating World because I just finished part 2. So I am now on page 200 and I'm just about to start part 3. And I just had to come on here and give an update because I am absolutely loving this book now. So on my last update, our two main characters, Ren and Sunho, had just met. And so like the last 100 pages, we have followed them. And so we got to see them get to know each other and overcome some trials and start to become friends. And separately, Ren and Suno are really interesting and great characters, but together they're just awesome. I love their dynamic so much. So in the beginning, when they first meet, they obviously don't trust each other for obvious reasons, and Ren is afraid that Suno is one of the people who's trying to hunt her down, and she's not wrong, so she gives him a fake name. And she also wears her mask around him as well so that he doesn't see her face the entire time they're together. But on the other hand, Sunho gives Ren his real name. And then as time goes by, they get to know each other, and there's a moment of fake dating in here where Suno and Ren pretend to be a couple because of a certain situation. And that scene was just so much fun and also really cute. And their two characters also complement each other really well because Ren is very sunshiny, she's very cheerful, but Sunho, in contrast, he is more somber, more reserved, more quiet. And so they play off of each other really well. So already there's just been so many cute scenes between the two of them that just made me feel so giddy and want to kick my feet. In the last 50 pages, the plot of this book has really taken off as well. We're full speed ahead and I'm totally invested in the plot, like things are going down. And some puzzle pieces of the plot are also starting to click into place as well. And also I'm loving this book so much that it's making me want to book journal, and I haven't like really journaled that much this year because I just haven't had like the motivation or the creativity. Like my creative energies have just felt like low lately. But this book is making me want to do a book spread for it because I'm just loving the characters so much and having such a good time. And also there's just been so many memorable quotes that I've noted as well. So I might end up doing that, but we'll see. So yeah, that's just my quick little update. I wanted to update because I am absolutely loving this. And my next update will probably be when I finish this. They are so sweet. No. October 2025? This is the next book is coming out October 2025. That's not that far away. I didn't know it was coming out this year. Because this just came out. Hi, so I did end up making a spread for the floating world in my reading journal, and so I thought while I showed that footage, I can give my final thoughts on the book because I have finished it and I ended up absolutely loving this book. I loved everything about it, the plot, the characters, the world. But one of my absolute favorite parts of the book was Suno and Ren's relationship and just seeing how it developed. And I loved seeing them go from strangers that didn't trust each other to friends that had each other's backs. And then later on seeing them realize that their feelings for each other go even deeper than friendship. And the relationship overall, it felt very natural and it felt really organic to me in the way that it progressed throughout the book, and it did not feel like insta-love at all. Their whole relationship was just so heartwarming and a joy to read. And overall, this book is very much a warm-hearted fantasy, and in that way, it reminded me a little bit of the YA fantasy book Dragonfruit. And then I do have to mention, so the book has Ren and Sunho's perspectives, but also sometimes you get a chapter perspective from a third character as well. And this character is connected to both Ren and Suno in some way, and so they also play an important part in the story as well. And this book did end on a cliffhanger, and so I need the second book right now, which I did find out that the second book is coming out this year in October on the 21st. So I'm actually really happy about that because that means I don't have to wait too long for the next one and to find out what happens. So yeah, those are all my thoughts on the floating world. Let me know down below if you read this book, what you thought of it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!